this is Beyond Bars.
They not like us.
Beyond Bars, hosted by the Lincoln Lodge, with Tyler Christian in the background. No Christian today.
Hi, Tyler.
And us.
Us.
It is us.
It is I.
It is us. I am Catherine Gogware.
I am Kyrie the Comic.
Yeah, I'm here.
And
I mean, I'm Felonious Monk. That's fine.
Felonious Monk is here.
But I'm here.
He has arrived.
Whatever.
Well,
Whatever.
what should we call our check-in today? Hey now? Is that
Hey man.
Hey, man.
Oh, look at you. I like the pun you did. She did
Hey,
a pun because Kendrick
man.
Lamar. Oh, no.
Honestly, when I saw that track, I thought of you guys immediately because
Immediately.
hey man.
Hey man. hey man. Careful, man.
Hey man. Okay, what's going on? How
I
are
feel
y'all?
like since
I already
Monk
said
created it, he should say how he doing.
Oh,
Hey man is brought
Yeah.
to you by Felonious Monk.
Hey man.
Hey man. How you doing?
Yeah. So hey man. It's been it's an off week.
Okay.
Like I don't know if I'm like going into a spiral or just maybe I was fighting something off because my son was sick on Saturday, so maybe I didn't get sick, but I've been down because my body was fighting it or whatever. But it's been real weird. Like I've been in my wife too. Like we both been in our heads, which is not a healthy place to exist when the stuff that's in your head is, you know. I mean, it's not quite like a jungle sometimes, like that's up there, but it's scary.
It's not quite Fanta.
It's not
scary.
quite Fanta scary, but yeah, it's been a weird one. It's been a weird one, and it's one of those weeks where any small thing that you usually would overlook becomes a big thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like your shirt getting caught on the door on the way out. You usually would just take your shirt off the door. This week it's like, I'll take this whole door off the hinges. Nobody need doors anyway. Well, no more doors. So it's, yeah. So, hey, man.
Fuck them doors.
Yeah. So my hey, man is, hey, man, sometimes when you're down, you take some breaths and you find some music or some sounds or some white noise or a book or whatever it is. But yeah, this week I've been trying to find that the whole week. So, hey, man, if you're not feeling your best today, I'm right here with you, but we gonna make it. That's
Hey,
all
man.
I got.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Hey,
Catherine,
man.
it's on you, man.
I'm good. I had a similar kind of back half of the week, like sets off, vibe off. But on Monday, I did and Kyrie was there. The LMAOF taping at the Den, and it was a little 10-minute special.
Killed it, didn't you?
And
Talk to him. Talk your shit, Catherine.
I think
Pop your shit.
I think I did. I said I told Kyrie.
Don't think. Talk your shit, Catherine.
I told Kyrie. I actually had the same interaction we just talked about with you and your wife, where I was like, I got I think too high on like Thursday, and I was like, was it bad? And then I texted Vic, and he was like, everyone came up to me and told me how well. He was like, I had to listen to like 4 people talk about how you killed all night. And I was like, well, sometimes people lie, right? Like maybe they're just telling you. And he was like, they wouldn't lie to me. There's no reason for them to come up. Yeah,
right.
They would lie to your face. So I had fun, I'll say that. And I was really pleased with this. My first special.
Oh, dope.
And I told Kyrie, I did do what everyone says you're not supposed to do, and I said a few things for the first time on stage that I wanted to say, but I never really have met a rule I didn't like feel like breaking. So I did try that, and I'm sure I will hear that in the recording, like that it could be tighter and it could be all those things. But I think I'm pretty proud of what I said.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
I'm trying to hold on to that because the rest of the week. It was just immediately humbled.
Do
right?
we know?
This
Do you
is
know when it's
stand-up.
coming out?
They said 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So
today is the 22nd, 3rd, 20. Today
Oh,
is
next year? What
I think like
24th.
early January.
Okay.
I think,
early
like,
January. So early January. Look out for Catherine Gongware on LMA.
I will be promoting
OnlyFans.
it because that if it's good.
If it's good, she'll promote it.
It's only comedy, not feet pics.
It is.
It's
indeed.
it's no.
I think, by the way, if you are watching this and you're like thinking about checking out my OnlyFans page, I think what I'm gonna do is like for like the paid stuff, like release like just fun stuff with other comics, you know, like shit that you might not get to see, like behind the scene type stuff. Because I'm not doing. I think my number for nudes is 5 figures. So it's not gonna happen on the $4 unlock. But anyway, that was my week.
Hey man, what's up with you?
Really proud of y'all. Y'all had some really impressive weeks. Super happy for how successful Blipsters was. Shout out to you and Dave.
Good
and
crowd, good
everybody
room.
that came through there, from Niche to Sam J. It felt like I was studying that night.
Yeah.
It was
Didn't it
some
feel
of the
like-
best in the city. We used to have, like, when I first started doing Chicago's Best, it was the kind of comics that could headline all over the country. And I'm not saying that that stopped. I'm just saying at that moment, these were comics that were like very well known outside of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So they were Chicago's best, but they were also well
Some of the
known in
nation's
LA.
best.
They were the nation's best. And I haven't been going to the Laugh Factory Chicago's Best in a while, so I didn't know what the vibe was going to be. But this felt very much like the heyday, the early days of the Laugh Factory, because the Laugh Factory, a lot of people don't know, is only, it's not even 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Lakeview Theater before that, and then it was empty for a long time, and then this happened. But there was an era where every comic that came up, you would go, damn, I gotta follow Adam, I gotta follow Niche, like, the lineup was just crazy. And then to have a drop in be, Sam J. So you got a monster lineup and Sam J drops in. So shout out to Dave, because one of the reasons I've never done a show, my own show, is because I absolutely hate the producing side. I don't enjoy the booking. I don't like, I like talking to comedians. I don't like dealing with comedians when business is involved, because
Lineups,
not
pay,
everybody
all
is
the other stuff,
right.
minutes and people going
And
over
I got
the
it
light
right.
and-
I don't coach. There's some players that are decent players, but they're not great coaches because their expectations are that
Jordan.
you see the work. Jordan could never coach. Jordan was a terrible executive, because when he watched people, he was like, "Why don't
you not amazing?
Right? Why can't you just jump from the foul line? He's D'ing you up. Just jump over him and
You
shoot."
didn't practice 20 hours out of 24
right.
hours.
And so I never wanted to produce, because I don't want to do that I don't want comics that hate me because of the producer side. I don't care if you hate me, but don't hate me because of the business side. And so I want to make sure that I'm very clear. Shout out to Dave Hellum for getting the links together, for putting that lineup together, for making sure he even put the lineup, the order of it. I think I adjusted it at the end because we had a comic drop out. But outside of that, Dave has always done a lot of the heavy lifting as far as the administration side of it. So shout out to Dave for that. Shout out to every comic that was up there that killed. Eli, Just Niche, Lisa Laird, Adam Burke, Sam J, of course. It was just a crazy lineup. If I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sorry. It was a lot of people, and I'm old. So, but yeah. And shout out to the audience. Y'all stayed way past 11 just to hang out with me and Dave on a Sunday night. So shout out to y'all.
You brought the hood out though. You brought a lot
It's
of
a very
people
black
who
show
are
with the
like,
Laugh
yeah,
Factory.
like excellence though, right? Like I saw people and I'm like, ooh, girl, I just saw you on Tubi. What the hell going on?
No, we had actors from the Bear showed up. Shout out to Corey, he showed up. We had writers for Very Smart Brothers and Essence Magazine, and it was a high end. Brittany was there, another South Side, and also. So Brittany Baker, if you don't know who she
love
is,
you,
find her.
Brittany. We
She's
love you
dope,
so
very
much.
funny, very smart, very beautiful. So yeah, we bought some stars out. So yeah,
Indeed.
anyway, thank you
So,
for coming
yeah.
out too, y'all. They came out, my friends.
And let me say, we just said offline too, but online, but you and Dave, like a Sunday night's a 9 p.m. show at the Laugh Factory is a very difficult spot. People are tired. It's cold. It's dark now. And you and Dave really did your hosting thing. You forced the audience into and not that they necessarily needed forcing, but
Yeah.
at Sunday, you set the tone, and it was great. I thought that, to your point in learning, that was like a lesson in hosting. So
Yeah.
And that was a lesson in how to wear your headphones. Brought to you by Kyrie. Hey, man.
I feel like that's gonna be a clip, unfortunately.
That is absolutely the clip. Fuck!
I
That
was
reminds
trying
me.
so hard to not do something.
Hey, man, I have an 8-year-old who also has volume control issues. It's when you lean into the mic.
I don't have value control
Hey,
issues. I
hey,
have
man.
a chemical imbalance.
No. Yeah, no, I hear you.
it results in volume.
But when your lithium is low like that, I need you to back
What
up a little
type
bit from the
of
mic.
battery is it?
No, 'cause it's like, hey, everybody. Yeah, that's where you want to be. When you want to be back here. You don't want to be right here with it.
I was holding it together till my
Were you?
headphones slipped off.
Were you?
I'm really doing so much better at holding
proud
it
of you, man.
together.
You are.
I'm really trying.
Yeah.
Well, I ran into Kyrie. I got the tease before this, and for your check, he walked in. I said, "You look sad or high? Which is it?" He said, "I'm chilling."
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, that was,
Yes.
and then
That
he
ain't
said-
that much.
he said, "Chilling."
Which one?
Like I don't know.
Is there something in this tea, or is it just this? Mine's just regular
These
tea.
are just sobers.
Okay.
Because you had to show. I didn't know what your vibe was.
Thank you,
Should
Kat.
have gave his ass some shrooms. Get on stage and see 3 audiences at once.
Why would you do that to me, Kyrie?
I don't want him coming out and just talking about Fanta.
You supposed to do unto others as you want done to you. So if you
you want somebody to just drop some shrooms in your drink? Wow. Why would you look away?
I got you THC.
Surprise me.
I got most sober.
I like surprises. It's a love language.
Tyler, what's your order for next time? What's your drug of choice?
Drug.
Like no crack though.
THC, kava, mushrooms.
Why did you say no crack like that was possibly something Tyler was going to say?
Tea or coffee.
You think Tyler does? Do you think Tyler may smoke crack?
Wait, you think he's not cool enough to try crack?
Do you think people who try crack are cool? What the
think nobody,
fuck is happening right now?
Wait, we don't.
I want to hear Tyler's order.
Happening right now. Hey man, I'm sorry if we triggered you and you have some cocaine things you want to work through, but god damn, man.
Tyler, what are your addiction problems?
I love Tyler.
Okay.
Tyler said, not
He was
only
like,
do I
"You
not want
fuckheads."
cocaine, I also don't want caffeine. What's wrong with you
Don't be
people?
anything like y'all.
Such a wholesome soul.
I'll be honest. If I watched us week after week after week,
Yeah.
I would just say no too. I would be on my
Yeah.
Nancy Reagan shit immediately. Well, not. I shouldn't say on my Nancy Reagan
That's what we're
shit
here
because
to
she's
do.
got other skills that
We're
I'm.
here to keep the kids off drugs.
Are we?
Or get them to.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
No.
No. No. That's a hey. Look you dead in your eyes. No.
No.
There you go. No.
Okay.
It
What's up,
depends.
Kyrie?
What the fuck?
I think also, man.
Hey man, I love y'all too. I forgot to say
Yeah,
that.
I love you too, man. I love y'all. So I was really motivated by y'all and the shows that y'all had, man. And I went out. I had a really fun night. And fucking Jarrell Scott Barnes headlined the spot, and we had so much fun because he called a guy in the crowd a crackhead, and the guy admitted to doing crack once. And so whole thing, now everyone's calling him a crackhead, and I told him he had a crack hat. It was a whole thing. But
Crack
long story
hat?
short, yeah, he had like a
Great.
scully that you don't fold, so he had it like this.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like it doesn't have enough room in it to curl it
Yeah,
up.
it was like a crack hat. And so
a crack hat.
yeah, we called it a crack hat. And
Okay.
so
That's so
we was
good.
like, yo, shout out to the guy. And he ended up being the owner of this. Gave us all drinks after.
And now you just told everybody that the owner of tried crack before.
Super sweet guy. If you
We're gonna bleep the
I will-
lounge name.
Yeah.
well, I'll go there.
Tyler.
It was
we
so
can-
nice. It's
Bleep
not like
that.
he keeping a rock on him. Oh my God. We have as a society. Where are we at right now?
No. I'm with you. I'm just
Obama
saying.
hit the crack. What are we doing?
Listen, first of all, Obama outed himself. That's all I'm saying. The owner of this
yeah.
said that in a
Yeah,
controlled
calling him
environment.
out his name.
Yeah, man. You're like,
I
this
really want to
crackhead-
support his business.
Which one? The crack, the crack hat business.
Yeah, both are small businesses, and I think
support all small business owners. I support the people who sold them the crack. I support the crack hat.
crack don't mix itself.
It doesn't, and it's not always as easy to cook as people think, especially when they put a lot of bullshit on it. You got to cook with extra water to get the bullshit off. If you just try to dry cook it, and there's a lot of stuff, you can burn crack. That's a real thing. Ask me how I know.
Are you doing? You
Learning-
come from
learning
an
every
era where
week.
y'all was doing what? Baby formula.
Nah, we didn't. I didn't. Well, there might have been some baby formula in it. What I did was a Nisotol, because a Nisotol could numb you. So if you put your finger in it and rub your
You'll
gums,
still
it
think
would
it was gas.
right. But if you cooked it, the Nisotol would catch fire. So you had
So
to
you
cook
had
it
an
with
extra
water.
See, that's because you was too fancy in the beginning. Just cut the shit with the fucking baby shit.
Why would I cut it at all?
Or yeah.
I did have a 12-ton press at one point though, where I would cut it myself and put it back together. But it was, we'll talk another time. That's offline. But yeah, my point to the crackhead conversation was I don't disagree with people being able to, like, he clearly fixed his life, turned his life around, and still has. And I think that there are people who smoke. I didn't know smokers who went to work every day.
Yeah. Functional crackhead.
Functional crack users, right? Like, cause
Clucks.
Crack hats.
I'm not
Crackheads.
not a head, just a hat, just the
Just-
covering,
Okay.
just
Because you can
covering.
take it off. Or you can
You
put
can take it off. You can right. You can't take your head off. You're a crackhead. You are. You got to leave it on. But if you have a crack hat, Today I'm not gonna be cracky.
It's just keeping you warm.
Tomorrow I'll be a little more cracky. It's the weekend, but it's a Wednesday. I got stuff to do.
That's what this pod is about.
Cracky.
Bringing out the spectrum for crack usage.
Crack usage is a spectrum. I used to have a joke because my father used to smoke. I used to have a joke. I was like, yo, I never called my dad a crackhead because my dad gained weight while he was smoking crack, and that's like unheard of.
Yeah, that's not.
And it was because he kept eating, and that's when I realized crack doesn't make you lose weight. Crack makes you lose focus. You're focused on just getting more crack. My dad would come home high as hell, and his wife would be like, no, sit your dumb ass down and eat. And he would be angry. Oh, shut up. It's too hot. It's too cold. But he would eat. And so he ended up like 250 while smoking. So no one knew that he had a problem.
Crack problem.
Until, like, you know, they were like, hey, man, how come you can't pay rent and you make this much money? And he was like, I smoked 80 grand. And that's a large number to smoke in a year. Shout out to my dad, who's still alive somehow. They called him Super Crack Man. That was
I think crack. We got to look at that because my grandma's still alive and she smoked like half the West Side worth of crack. Like it was.
Yeah, that was almost bad.
Smoked the lace off her wig. That lady smoked a lot of crack. Like since I was born. Before.
All the lines on Chicago. She smoked the whole lineup. Just
what a fucking felony lineup worth of crack, huh?
I think if you have enough family around you that holds on to you, that like you gone, but they don't let you go. You know what I mean? There's a difference. There's a line.
Still owe them money.
Sometimes, but I think there's also a line where you like. There's a point in time where your family goes, damn, man, that's the 8th car you've borrowed for 3 days. Okay, you said you go into the store and you be right back.
3 days,
and
to
you
the
keep
store
leaving
is
for
crazy.
Right?
You understand?
I'm telling you what it is.
They always talk about boy math, girl math. What about crack math?
Crack math is.
Why don't we talk about crack math as a society?
I'm going to the store. I'll be back in 15 minutes, sir. You were going 72 real hours. That is
just borrow this VCR real quick for the weekend.
15 crack minutes is 72 hours. I said 15 minutes. You know I smoke crack. That's 72 hours.
15 crack minutes.
5 minutes a day.
It's
5 minutes a day. You take the 5. 5 equals 24 hours of regular people time. So boom, because crack speeds shit up.
Crack
You know what I'm saying?
is crazy.
So in my mind, I was only going 5 minutes because everything was so fast. But for y'all, it was 24 hours because y'all are living in the slow down time. If you smoked, you'd know.
And that's why they charge you $20 to wash your entire car, detail it inside, and also balance your taxes.
Because they're going to be done in 12 seconds. They're going to be done in 12 seconds.
Like this motherfucker put out a power drill. What is going on?
Fuck you get that? And he was like, I stole that too. You want this? I give you this for $12. No, I don't want that.
That crack math help the economy.
Anyway,
that's an amazing drug, man. So you went to got free drinks and a little meth.
Video does exist. No, literally, the guy tells us he tried crack. We like, fuck it, we'll go to your place of business and try drinks. Didn't make sense looking back, but it was fun at the moment. We go there, and upon getting there, there's this really, really old white guy on the piano, because it's a piano bar, playing R. Kelly remix to Ignition and singing.
No, back up. No, back up. Because because there was so many details there that I don't want anyone. Instead of making them rewind and make sure they heard what they heard, I want you to say it slow. You can say it low.
Not on crack time.
Don't do crack. What?
Weed time.
It is what kind of bar?
It is a piano bar.
And when you went in, someone was playing said piano.
No.
Was someone playing the piano?
Yes.
Was it a young person?
It was. If I can say what he looks like the older gentleman from Family Guy that's a pervert that tries to fuck.
Oh, man. You talking about him? Come on closer. Oh, no. That's right, with your big meaty arms. Yeah. No, it's an old dude. I don't even remember his name, but he was really in love with the oldest boy. He
looked like the Six Flags guy.
And he was playing Remix to Ignition. Now it makes sense. It's the remix to Ignition. Look at you with your big meaty arms, young man. That's crazy.
I'm rolling that body.
No, man.
I'm uncomfortable.
And so
as well you should be. He should have been.
Oh, it had the bar sent up. Everybody was singing along.
Well, so you had a good week.
Crazy week indeed.
Speaking of crack,
Speaking of crack.
Kendrick Lamar dropped
Here we
GNX.
go.
Was that a face because that's how the song made you feel? Was that a I'm a Drake fan, so I'm really
Yes,
upset?
round table.
Whoa, I don't believe in texting 16-year-old girls about their boyfriends. I also don't hang out with people who name Baca not nice, but they was committing
Got a
sex
wild
trafficking
case. Why
shit.
is he
Yeah.
around?
Baca, wait, can we talk about how crazy it is for you to be call somebody not nice
Baca not
for
nice.
human trafficking?
Yeah.
I don't think that's not nice, nigga.
not-
That's cynical. What?
That's very mean.
That's some
you could
evil-
just go directly. Baca's creepy.
Cynical is even an understatement.
Yeah, that's just
actually.
you just
Sinister
gross.
is, I think, the
Baca not safe.
yeah
That's
That's like,
trafficking.
that's like saying Nick Cannon is just not pulling out. No, he is. He is leaving it in. There's a big fucking difference.
You know what? That's passive verse versus active voice.
That's actually a really good analogy.
Yeah, that's very good.
You want that clip? We can
Because
do that.
we could call him
Why would you say
You're getting the hat one too. So.
Nick not infertile. See what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. We were like, whoa. No, clearly Nick's not infertile. He's got 86 kids. No,
and
yeah.
counting?
That's exactly how all of the media has been covering Gaza and Palestine.
Wow.
What? Bomb fell on Gaza, right? It just fell from nowhere. No
Kids
one
pop up dead.
fired it. Kids die in bombing. They didn't die in the bombing. The kids were killed by bombs that were sent off. So yeah,
That's so fucked.
shout out to Baca. Not nice. This motherfucker.
Not nice.
And by shout
Baca
out,
with an attitude.
why is he around? BWA. Nah,
Baca
man.
with an attitude.
Nah,
Hey, they gonna try to come beat me up. Don't come beat me up from Toronto. Oh
Yo,
no.
quiet as
Please.
kept.
Wow.
Do you remember
Wow.
when Cypher Sound went to
Incredible
Toronto
energy. Yes,
and
we
there
talked
was
about
we talked about the show. Yeah, now they're gonna get you. They're not gonna threaten me because
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. The day
Stop.
that somebody named Aubrey come to the west side of Chicago off 290 looking for me,
please get his eye. His
nigga,
expression
it's
when he
gonna be lunch. They gonna steal your catalytic converter before. All right, never mind. Hold
Aubrey
up.
ain't even do the poor Aubrey. He just at home right now going, Crody, why are they talking about me, Crody? Maybe Millie Bobby Brown knows why they're talking about me. Crody. Sorry, man. No, but I thought that the album, truthfully, it didn't make me feel. It didn't remind me of Drake. It felt like he had some things to get off his chest, but
Yeah.
it didn't feel like he was specifically talking about Drake this time. It felt like a whole album where he just was firing off on the industry. There was some thoughts, about his ability to rap. People think he was talking about Wayne. He was actually talking about Mickey Fax. If you look back very recently, Mickey Fax was talking about Kendrick's inability to do multi-bar rhyme schemes. And he was like, that's why I'm the underground favorite. I'm da-da-da-da. And so he literally was like, I don't care if you think I can. This ain't about lyrics. You an old dude talking about your bars are people's favorites. No one knows you. And that's who he's talking to. He's not talking to Wayne. Wayne is what Wayne is, right?
Yeah.
But Wayne,
Yeah.
it sounded more like he was like, yo, I think my Super Bowl thing pissed off Wayne. That was his only shot at Wayne to me. And that
And it
didn't
wasn't
feel like
really a shot.
Wasn't
as
really a
much
shot.
as it was like, damn, man, y'all mad because I'm winning.
J. Cole got a hold. I let Nas down. Like, it's a thing.
Right.
When
I let Wayne down.
Yeah.
I feel like so, now maybe he was. Maybe he was going at everybody and who fucking cares? He still was a really good rapper. The songs were good. And Mustard is gonna be a hook for at least 3 or 4 weeks, right? We're gonna talk about that going into the Super Bowl. But I wanna say to like all of us who are not in that industry and who are not around these rappers, a lot of the speculation ends up being weird because we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what they're working on, right? Like there was Whack 100 came out and was like, yeah, he's blowing his opportunity. You know what I mean? He's hot right now. He's got the momentum. He should be dropping an album right now. He's not. That's a fail on his part. And I remember at the time going, yo, he's going to do the Super Bowl in February. Why the fuck would he drop an album in August, September? Drop it closer to the Super Bowl when there's going to be so much attention on you and then watch it do numbers right after this. Shit, I would drop the motherfucker in the middle of the Super Bowl. So once that is done, people are going to look for music and you got a new album. But to me, it didn't feel like he was saying that he messed up. It was more of a, I want to say Aubrey won, but I know Aubrey didn't win, so I have to take some kind of shot at him to show that I'm on his side. And I just wish that we would not do that. Like, let's stick to the music. Let's talk about if the music is good or not. I just don't remember a time where artists were putting out album after album after album after album. Rappers didn't do that. That's some
Plus
shit
the
that's
quality.
right. The quality is crazy, and every song is 2 minutes. The only rapper that I want to hear a bunch of 2-minute songs for over and over is Chris Crack. Facts, and I'm saying that because it's my homie, but also Chris Crack's fucking discography is crazy, and he's got the best song titles in the industry. But for the most part, give me a fucking song. Give me 3.5, 4 minutes, and actually write. Put a hook on it. Do something. This whole everybody has to put a song out every 2 weeks to stay relevant.
It's crazy.
Don't you know how you keep people from having short attention spans? Stop fucking feeding them. You want people to stop having short attention spans, stop feeding the attention span. Beyonce put an album out every 2 years and motherfuckers go buy it. They don't care if she ain't dropped a fucking single since Renaissance, and now she doing a country album. We'll see the country album when it comes. She was dropping in the middle of the night, not telling nobody.
His production allows for that, right?
His production allows
like,
for
even
that.
though he give you a full song, the breaks in it, when the beat switch up and change, like, shout out to all the producers, Mustard and everybody.
I think this is their album.
Mustard!
Yeah, I mean, the beats are so, like, A White Woman's Take. The beats are so good. Track to track, they're so good.
Oh my God, A White Woman's Take.
A White Woman's Take.
I hope.
I think I just actually ruined the beats a little bit
Tyler,
by saying that.
can you put DJ Vladina underneath her when she
Vladina?
says that? DJ Vladina. I don't know what the Russian.
Anyway, carry on, Kyrie.
feminine
That's
is
all
for
I had to
black.
add.
No.
That made me feel so. Oh, here come DJ Vladina. That's funny.
That is pretty fucking, damn.
All right. Anyway, liked it. It feels like we all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Different parts.
Different parts, but also the energy. I don't want people to be like, oh, is he dissing Drake? Is he dissing Wayne? He's also displaying some really important energy towards things that matter, right? He's talking about, like, being authentic in your pursuit of your dreams. What does hard work really look like? No shortcuts. You know what I'm saying? Standing on shit, having manhood be a priority in your fucking being, right? In the decisions you're making. I think that it's some serious shit that we have to look at and what we prioritize and what we glorify as well in the community and stuff. So shit, I think this is a really cool opportunity to look at that. Plus, he crashed out.
And he put everybody on the record too. He did something we haven't seen in a long
so many fucking
time.
artists that I hadn't even heard of.
Yeah.
So think about when we used to have posses, right? You had Rough Rider, and Rough Rider only mattered because of DMX. But because of Rough Rider and because of DMX being hot, they could do a posse album, and you get to hear, now and forever, it's the evil that men do. And now I'm like, oh, who the fuck is this? I need to look this dude up. Who was the last Boy Scout? Who is this guy? I might know 2 songs by them, and it's really just verses on these songs, but they forever matter. 50 Cent, G-Unit. You're not going to know Tony Yayo without 50 Cent and G-Unit.
Shit, Lloyd Banks either.
And the crazy part was Lloyd
thing.
Banks, bar for bar, was murdering everybody in the mid-2000s, but also, again, and 50 has alluded to this before, he was like, yo, everybody in G-Unit's like, yo, you're not doing enough to help us. I put you on records, I put you on posse cuts, I got you out there so that everyone knows your name. Now you got to get in the studio. Get in the studio and make something happen. So the West Coast hasn't really had that in a long time, since Death Row maybe. Since
Outlaws and all that.
Yeah, Outlaws in that era. So what he's doing right now, putting everybody on, people who would not get radio play, but they're going to get spins now because people are going to listen to G. And like, he put money in pockets that weren't there. Look at what just happened to Shabuzi. Shabuzi was, he had a lane, but then he hit Beyonce's album. And now he does Tipsy on the back of that. He took Beyonce's album and used all of the attention and momentum and put a song out. They weren't doing that on G-Unit. So what Kendrick just did was give all of these guys an opportunity. If they get their ass in the studio right now and put something out, this is their moment. And no one's really doing that anymore, right? Like, there's no Swizz Beatz who's got a collective of rappers. There's no Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah, and what was my man? What was Busta Rhymes' joint?
You just took
Listen,
it back.
I'm gonna take it all the way back, son. And what was
what is
Busta
the
Rhymes'
demographic
squad?
age right now? Because
Flip mode squad.
So you want to go flip mode?
Yeah, you have Flavor Unit, Flip Mode. You have
like, bring it up. Say Saint Lunatics. Come back.
Irv
Come back.
Gotti,
Yeah.
Irv Gotti and Murder Inc.
Yeah.
But that's my point.
Shit, he
there
was going
there was an
back.
era where that's what we did. You had a superstar, they had a collective, and they brought everybody up. Missy and Timbaland and all of them.
Hey, no, that was actually
Magoo and
pound for
Genuine.
pound. Aaliyah.
That might be the
Pound
one.
for pound.
That might be the one. Because with
Timbaland and Missy.
Genuine, Missy, Timbaland, Aaliyah, like Magoo might have been
was in
Tweet, Nicole Ray. Like, there was a whole group of, but they exist because Timbaland and Missy was hot.
That cornerstone.
So
yeah.
everybody that they put on, we don't have that right now. Everybody's going for Dolo. Drake not only wasn't putting people on, he would make them write the songs. He would do the song. He
You
would
said
take
P&D is in the basement of the
P&D
studio with
P&D
shackles on.
Well, he say he in the club.
Please release that man.
He in the club
We need
treating
to
his nose.
Change.org to free P&D. He is
Right.
down there being restrained with sex magic.
So I don't know about the sex magic. I think that might be. I really appreciate that you lean right into the mic when you scream. That's my.
I know. It's everybody's favorite part
I'm
of
about
the
to text
podcast.
my wife right now, like, "Hey man,
It's
it's
Tyler's
not
favorite
Bubba's
part,
fault.
too. It's a manage
I've met
volume.
another one, because my son will lay right beside me in the bed
Yeah.
and start talking. He doesn't yell though. It's not a yell. It's just a little higher than what the volume needs to be. But because he's this close to my ear, it sounds like he's like. And I'm like, hey man, I don't care enough about
Hey,
skibbity
man.
toilet for you to yell skibbity in my ear 100 times. Skibbity Ohio, skibbity toilet, skibbity rizzity riz, the Rizzler, Rizzaline, riggy. Hey man, sit down. Sit down.
I like that energy.
It's great energy.
You know what it is? It reminds me of the energy from I don't know if y'all ever watched Wild Thornberries, but the little boy from Wild Thornberries.
He was wild though. I don't know that he was a little boy. Yeah, that's pretty much how Catherine and I feel about you. We love you.
You feel like I'm a classic from y'all childhood?
No, I wasn't a child when the Wild
Wow,
Thornberries
that
came.
was
How
the
old do you think I
reframe
am?
of the-
How old do you think I am that I was a child when Wild Thornberries was out?
I don't know, Monk. Actually, I don't even think you had a childhood. I think you were just born a teenager. I don't think. You know, it's fucked up. I never thought of Monk having a childhood.
That
I was
is-
never a baby. Everything that happened in my
Incredibly.
childhood, I even remember that shit in sepia tone.
I
That
got
shit was a
Tyler, too.
long time
Tyler-
ago. That was a long time ago. You're not wrong. I came out at 17.
Monk born an old man.
Like, look at my baby, 148 pounds, 5'10", 148. He's got point guard skills and a mustache. This shit's crazy.
Delivered birth to a wide receiver. What the fuck is going on?
Here, let me see his fingers. Does he have 10 fingers and 10 toes? Yeah, he's got 10. No, I don't want to see if he got 10 and 10. Put them together. That's what I thought.
It's a
That's
decent
my son.
pocket. Yeah, that's a
That's my
decent
son.
pocket. That's my
And that's
boy.
what you catch with your hands. You catch with your hand. You don't catch here. You catch here. Right there. Okay, so you can extend. You can't extend
That
if you
shit
catch it
is
here.
crazy.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, shout out to the pair.
Do we do Kendrick? Do we have anything else to say about Kendrick? I had a question
think we
actually.
do.
We could bump to. We have started attempting segments, so there's some structure to the podcast if you care. We'll see. But I think we want to do a segment called "Somebody's Gotta Ask."
Somebody's got to
Somebody's
ask.
gotta ask, in which we discuss questions that nobody wants to ask. That's probably clear. I'm not even high. I just can't do it today.
It's
Well,
because
I do-
Catherine
so I
is
do
the
have
one
a
who
question.
has to ask this week.
Well, I do have a question that's probably not even a funny one, but on the Kendrick album, what do y'all think? So, when he's doing "Man in the Garden" and then he does "Reincarnation," and from "Man in the Garden," I think his whole thing he says, "I deserve it all," and he's doing that whole thing. I kind of think by the end of that song, sort of based on "Reincarnation," he's trying to convince himself a little bit, as opposed to stating the fact that he deserves everything, because he does one line where he's like, "What makes you think you're the GOAT? The greatest of all time?" And then it's just something about the tone change. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a
he does
conversation
that.
worth having. But the whole song, I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, I don't deserve anything. Where's
So
this
that's-
energy in
but
me?
that's what I think
And
the
then-
conversation is. I
right?
think that's the conversation he's having is how I hate to tag this to RFK Jr. Fucking worm brain.
Wow. I
But
wanna
there's
see
a
it
clip.
thread this together.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. There's a clip circulating where he's talking to a room full of black people and he's telling them that they need to raise their children to be able to handle racism, to be able to withstand racism, and that if they're able to do that, they'll be like Avengers and racism won't affect them. And he says that's more likely to happen than ending racism, because I don't think that's ever going to happen. Now, what he's effectively saying is, if you can change the narrative, you don't have to change their reality. You just change how they think, right? So they start to think that racism is something that they need to be tough enough to withstand. The problem with that logic is that's exactly how black children were raised from at least the end of slavery until very, very recently, where we started to go, hey man, fuck that, we breaking cycles, right? Our children deserve to be children. Our children deserve to be kids. And the crazy part is, the idea is he's saying, I need you to make your children responsible for racism's impact on them. But I don't believe that white children should have to know about racism because they're too young for these discussions. And we don't have to pretend that that's what's being said, because we see they're taking all types of history that make white children uncomfortable out of schools. So here is black people being held responsible for how racism impacts them, while white people are given a pass to not even think about it. All of that said is, instead of us changing people's material conditions, a lot of this ends up being on us to just change how we approach the world. And Kendrick saying he's the best is that conversation. It's that I have self-doubt. I have insecurities. I have questions about whether or not I'm... No, the fuck I don't. No, wait, why do I have those questions? Who put those questions in my head? We had an episode where I was like, hey, man, sometimes that voice in your head isn't your voice. Can you make it your voice? And I feel like that's what Kendrick was doing in this one, is he's making it his voice. He's saying, I am an Avenger. Yeah. I'm already tough enough. And anybody who doesn't believe in me, that's their flaw, not mine, right? I am the GOAT. And if I'm not the GOAT, prove it. Jump on a record and out-rap me. And if you can't jump on a record and out-rap me, then I am the GOAT. I'm still the GOAT until proven otherwise. And it hasn't been proven. Nobody's beaten me in a battle. One dude quit before it got deep. The other dude, he not like us.
R.I.P.
So until somebody proves it, you know what? We were all raised to be humble. Fuck that. I'm not being humble anymore. Be humble. Sit down. Like, I think he's had a thread of this throughout his whole career where he feels like he's that guy, but he's trying to reel it in like, be humble. I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that conversation with God is actually my favorite part of the album.
Yeah. Reincarnated.
Yeah.
And so actually,
you hate that part?
Where you
I knew
love
you were gonna
war,
say that.
like all that. Like I've been doing all this shit, and he's like, "No, let me tell you about yourself. I know you. Let me show you, or whatever." And him just like acknowledging all of it. I was like, God, this is so good.
It's very good.
For all
Kendrick
of us,
is interesting. Like, Kendrick is one of those guys where there are times where he's so far out into Hotepia that I'm like, oh, here we go. Here go this motherfucker. And then there's some times where I'm like, he's fucking brilliant.
That was so, like, his father kicked him out of his house. He's like, let me send you down here. You're imperfect. Like, you got to learn. I was like, Jesus, this is good.
It's really fucking good. But that's why I felt like the album was more spiritual than a lot of things, because when he's talking about, like, I deserve it all, he talk about, like, you know, talking to the kids, making sure that you actually create a change in your community that's positive, some shit that's bigger than just you. And I think that a lot of times when we like people, we say separate the art from the artist.
I don't. And I don't. When I say I don't, is I don't because the artist informs the art.
Say it again.
There's no way
No.
that Nina Simone exists, right? There's no way that Misunderstood exists if Nina Simone is not feeling in her skin misunderstood. That song doesn't exist. That art doesn't exist. Picasso has created a whole genre of art that didn't exist before him. So how do you separate him from an art that never existed before he existed? How do you separate Beethoven from what he wrote? How do you separate fucking Jimi Hendrix from the era that he lived in, the time that he lived in, the music that he was making compared to his contemporary black artists, but also compared to contemporary white artists? How do you separate who he is, what he went through, how he lived from that? How do you separate Little Richard from his queerness that he had to hide? How do you separate that? And then you look at him now where he's like, yo, I'm the originator, still not getting credit because so much was hidden. How do you separate the art from the artist when the art doesn't exist without the artist? So I can't. So when R. Kelly says, show me some ID before I go in deep, I can't pretend.
What?
Age ain't nothing but a number that he wrote for Aaliyah, who he was like. You're asking me to separate stuff from him, but he didn't separate it. He completely kept who he was in the music. Why would I separate him from the music if he's putting himself in the music? That's his art.
That is true, because when I want to, like, if I'm like having a really good weed session, I'm going to turn on some Marijuana by Kid Cudi. I'm going to turn on some art that is influenced by the artist, because I'm doing stuff that I relate to.
We're going to listen to
So
some
when
Big
an
Crit,
artist,
we're going to listen to some Smoke DZA, we're going to listen to somebody
so
that
when an artist
roll
that
what I'm
make
doing.
teenage girls' phones notifications ring, and he make a song called Hotline Bling, it's hard for me to jam with that, because I don't be making teenage girls' phones ring like that, bro.
Shout out to my man Big Ghost Limited. Big Ghost wrote a article 10 years ago where he called him Chinchilla Soft and said, yo, y'all are treating this dude like he's a sensitive man with sensitive feelings. He's not. He's not. He's a fuck boy who doesn't know he's a fuck boy, and he got you convinced that he's not a fuck boy because he's singing
fuckboys
rap.
Don't know they're fuckboys.
Like,
wow, we could do a whole episode.
And I hate to harp on it, but when Kendrick talked about like you coming around here putting money in the hood, playing these hood games, and you not from here.
You're
what
not
is you?
from here.
Is you out of your mind? Putting money in murder for hire situations and putting money in
my hood
and crash out people that'll take the lives
and we
of
saw
women
what
and
happened to
children.
Nips. We just saw what happened to Nips.
You feel me?
So if that happened here, you good there? Because you're not wired like that.
But like also like who the fuck do you think you are to come over here on some colonizing ass shit where you just want to come around and kill youth and put guns in children's hands?
Right, because it's not your kids being killed. It's not Toronto youth being killed. It's not your family being killed. These are people that I'm connected to whose mothers will hold me responsible for what you did. You don't have a connection to the hood. And I think that was the problem with that whole beef, is that there are a lot of people who aren't part of the culture but who like Drake who didn't understand that's what he was saying. It wasn't because you're biracial. It wasn't because you're from Toronto. There are people from Toronto we fuck with. There are biracial people that we fuck
100%.
with. The issue was that you are not part of this community, and you've not been part of this community. You just happened to start rapping. And so once you started rapping, you took on this new persona, but I see through it. That's not who you are. Stop. And that's what I was talking about last week. I don't mind you being yourself. We love singing Drake.
Yeah.
But once you start doing that, I remember the song where he was like,
Yeah, we do.
I got real shooters. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. Stop right there. And it's tough for me to listen to you once you've done that. I love Rick Ross, but it became really tough for me to listen to Ricky Rose once I realized the stories were all made up. It's hard to, and it's easier for me to listen to him with the stories being made up because he's at least in the culture, so he's making up stories of things he's seen or he's close to.
Ricky Ross is an actual African American
right, the
drug
real
dealer
Rick
in
Ross.
America.
Right, he's basically taking on that persona. That's not what Drake did. Drake said, "I'm part of this culture," and everyone looked and went, "Nuh-uh." But Jay Prince was like, he's a nice enough fucking kid, and we'll make a couple dollars off it. That's why he signed to a dude that signed to a dude that signed to a third dude. Because the only way you get to continue to exist in this community is that somebody who actually does exist in this community has to back you.
Math.
That's crack math. He signed. That's signed to another. Is he not? Is he not signed to Wayne, who signed to Birdman, who signed to a whole? You know what I'm saying? That's who he signed to. So there's a reason he's dropping hits. He's dropping singles every fucking 3 weeks. He has to eat. He has to tour to eat. And I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying that was what he did in the beef. That's what he was saying. He's saying, hey man, you're not like the rest of us. And y'all can be mad all you want and try to twist it. It's because he's biracial. That's not fair because you're what? No. Not because he's biracial. There are black people with 2 black parents and 4 black grandparents who are not in the culture. Didn't say they're not black enough. Y'all keep confusing black enough with hip hop enough. We're talking about rap. This rap. You can be black as fuck and hate hip hop. I don't give a fuck. You can be black and not like Catfish. I believe, because I don't. But Drake's issue isn't that he's not black enough. It's that he's not part of hip hop culture in the way that he presents himself to be. And there are guys who are not like thug guy. Larry June makes fantastic music. He ain't threatening to
Ain't he another Cali guy?
Right. And he's not
Cali
threatening
right
to kill anybody. You know what I mean? He's not threatening to hurt him because that's not who the fuck he is. What's the kid's name? JP from out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? That motherfucker's a problem. Yeah. He is a rapidy rapper. Ain't killing nobody. He ain't killing nobody. He's a 6'5" basketball player who might be bi. That's not like he's who he is. Earl Sweatshirt, who he is. Tyler the Creator, who he is. They're not rapping about murdering people. All people are saying is, hey man, stop. Cut the shit, Drake. The tough guy talk's not working. Keep doing the duck faces and taking pictures.
Especially if Diddy putting you in the hospital. Diddy break.
If somebody pee on your foot and you don't do shit, I don't want to hear anything tough.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to hear anything.
Dear
Adonis,
take
your
that.
father's a bitch. Like that's what he says. He's like, dear Adonis, your father's a hoe. Don't be a hoe. Dear Adonis. That to me though. I want to just point out, we're gonna retroactively, since I went all the way back to Flavor Unit. Let me go back a little bit to earlier this year. I think Meet the Grams was dark. And dark in a way that fuck the rest of the beef. That Meet the Grams was
Yeah, that was hard to listen to.
Right.
Legitimately.
I listened to that one time all the way through, and then I just put the phone away for a minute, and then the next time I never heard it all the way through again. I heard pieces of it again. But that, hey Dennis, you raised a horrible fucking person.
That was.
Oh
my god.
That felt harmful. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I like that. Like the crazier
I like that energy.
I get, the more I like him crashing out. Like
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm finna call your mama and tell her she raised the bitch.
Listen, he told us that dear Dennis, it's your fucking fault. You a shitty example. You treated his mama horribly. You were an absent ass father, and now you sucking for money. You just try, son, give me some money. Hook me up.
You know
and
what?
he wants your approval so bad, he'll keep giving you money. You need to get more money. And I was like, hey, man, wait a minute.
The reason I like it is because I feel like
that's how I felt like it felt to me. Man, I don't think we're supposed to be listening in.
We are.
I was fucked up, and I was
It
like,
felt like we were. It felt like we were listening in to some
yeah.
shit that we like.
I was
This
like,
is real. I don't think they're joking anymore, guys.
Yeah.
But
right,
that's what made me
laughing.
like it. That's what made me like it because even though he was going at him so hard, he still handled his children with care.
Yeah,
He like,
hey,
hey,
dear Adonis, I'm
ain't
sorry your
your
dad's
fault.
such a hoe ass
When
motherfucker.
he was like, when you grow up,
When
and
you grow
I
up
was
and
like,
you need a mentor, hit the line.
Bruh, do some
I
push-ups.
respect that. I know you ain't got no real men in your household. Your daddy bringing pedophiles through the
Son.
spot and getting them drunk and high.
This where I know. This where I know Drake not what Drake is pretending to be. There's no one on God's green earth that could talk directly to my child
right about
the
you.
way that he was talking to Adonis, and it ain't some smoke. And I'm not
what?
sending
He
nobody.
talked to the daughter. We still trying to figure out who the daughter is.
Listen to me. I'm not sending nobody. I'm not. There's not going to be I'm not paying any.
Right,
I'm
you're
coming
there.
to you. I want you to see. I might film it, but I'm coming to see you. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Son, you talking to my mother, my kids? I'll fucking bury you, nigga. Fuck you talking to? That's how I
He
know.
don't have
That's how I
that
know. When I heard that, that's the energy I got. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
ugly. I don't want to listen to this
because
anymore.
we know that it's supposed to be gun
That's
smoke
what's
after
supposed to
that.
happen. I'm like,
I don't even have a child, and I was like,
I don't think you can talk to my
A mother?
not child's my child
Without
'cause
addressing her properly, you talking about some, yeah.
Imagine Adonis's mother has to listen and she like, yo, fuck child support. Handle that. If my daughter's mother, here's the difference. Here's how you know who's who and what's what. Something happened to my daughter at school one time. Dude put his hands on her. Not a good look. I found out 3 months later. The reason it took me 3 months to find out is because my daughter's mother said, hey man, if you call your father, he will set this city on fire. Please don't tell him until we've got this handled. Drake, on the other hand, was like, that wasn't nice. You said stuff to my son. That's why you beat your wife. Nah, dog. That's not going to cut it. And by the way, if Kendrick beat his wife,
mama and
awful.
not say miss, ma'am, nothing, you
Nah.
just, yeah, Sandra.
hey, Sandy.
Who the fuck is you talking
Hey,
to?
Sandy. Sup with your kid. Hey, Dennis, you a piece of shit dad. You're a fucking horrible dad, Dennis. You raised a horrible.
There's
You
a lot
raised
of
a
that.
horrible fucking
also,
person.
people peed on him. So when someone pee on you and you don't respond out of self-defense, then you thought the little baby
Long
that
time
he
to
had
go.
with the thick Keebler elf was gonna help. Okay, I'm sorry. I was wrong for saying his baby mama looked like a thick Keebler elf. But y'all saw those ears. All right, I was wrong. I'm gonna take that one back.
I felt like Dave Chappelle when he was playing Dylan, and they said he was. Son, why you say that, man, babe? And the crazy part is, I want to say, hey, man, we not body shaming, but you're not body shaming. You're just saying her ears are pointy.
Your head shaming.
You had shaming. You had shaming. She should have wore a hat. She did a crack.
Oh,
And that's it. I'm calling my Uber so
Yeah,
I don't
we
miss my
gotta-
show. You fucking.
Right.
Mark has a show tonight. He's headlining
Yeah.
Thank You Comedy.
Thank you, Chicago Comedy
Thank you,
Show,
Chicago
whatever, yeah.
Comedy. Kyrie's show is this month.
Please come see
Yep.
it.
12:20.
That's
Also, I
okay.
got a private show on
Nope.
12.
No,
Uh,
it's a private comedy show. Please.
it
say
is, but
that
it's at
way.
a speakeasy. It's really sexy. I just don't remember the details. Check out my social media.
Is it
I
a
should write that
speakeasy
shit
uptown?
Oh, and I'm
Where's the
running
speakeasy?
It's someplace.
Yeah,
All right.
motherfucker. We
Well,
know
find
that.
Find
Jesus.
Kyrie online. And then I'm running a new material night here Saturday, and then it'll be Thursdays 7 p.m. in 2025. So come support the lodge and us, and obviously these guys will be there too. So
The L's up for Lincoln Lodge.
Same
yes,
stuff, man.
throw
December
the-
3rd.
Throw the L's. And then we are gonna bring guests back onto this. We had a segment today to talk about stories and like the electronic monitoring.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it back.
Sunsetting that. We'll talk about that shit next week. We got carried away and we are hitting our time.
We won't talk about crackheads next time. I'm so sorry. I hope y'all take care of yourself.
Or maybe we will.
At least crack math is coming back.
Shout out to Lodge, Tyler, Christian.
Oh, I got shows. Y'all don't want me to talk about my show? That's fine. I don't
Oh,
talk-
No,
wait,
Tacoma's
that's
coming
fine.
up.
Whatever. It's
You
fine.
got
No, I do.
Tacoma,
I got
DC?
Tacoma, December 3rd. New York City, I'll be at SOB's for the Deadass Comedy Show on December 5th. December 27th through 29th, I'll be at DC at the DC Comedy Loft featuring my man Benny. Look, just go online. January 3rd and 4th, I'll be in Fort Worth at Big Laughs Comedy Club. All of that's in my link tree. My link tree is in my bio on everything. Go cop tickets, please. Please buy tickets. Tacoma, Seattle, please buy tickets. We getting close, and y'all ain't buying tickets. And there's way too many big foreheads with curly hair out there that's not buying tickets to see me. I know your mom's in them. Play fair.
You think all that curly hair hides the elf ears? Or?
Probably.
Okay. I tried. I know the last one bombed, but the first one was okay.
The first one killed. I still got 2 minutes, so you.
Yeah, it's funny.
It settled my stomach.